me share the screen and share this one. All right, the infinite window is on. And so if you can help me, Gabby, confirm that, oh, I'm sorry, that you can see the presentation.
Yes.
Okay, fantastic, fantastic. So once again, welcome everyone. My name is Emilio Garcia. I'm the managing partner of Bountify. We are a demand generation agency. We help B2B clients, typically in the technology, telecommunication sectors, with demand generation programs, which are paid media based efforts to expand marketing activities that companies do. We typically work with B2B marketers. And if you're interested in this topic, right, this is a HubSpot event. But if you're interested in demand generation, join us at Demand Gen Studio, where we typically cover things like account-based marketing, demand generation in general, pay social, pay search, and anything that you need to create a measurable advertising campaign. So that's me. With me as well today is Gabby. Gabby is the person, is the wizard of us, right, of these events. She is the one that help us prepare everything to have every on time, the presentations, and in general coordinate all the activities behind the hub. So thank you, Gabby. And I'm very excited to start this 2024 with a very strong topic. It's going to be AI for HubSpot. So I think it's a great, great start. So very quickly, what are going to be the topics that we will cover in this very short time that we have? We will talk about some of the AI features for 2024 for HubSpot and how that can impact your engagement with customers, your lead generation efforts, and in general, how it can help you improve your conversations with sales and closing more deals, right? So for sure, I will skip the what's AI part because by now everybody knows a little bit about it. Rather, I would like to focus more on how HubSpot sees AI for this year and moving forward. And I think this slide conveys that idea in a very convenient way, because yes, I will tell you a little bit of the features and the things that you can accomplish today, but for me the most important conversation is what will be the things that AI will enable us to do. And that is an old problem. It's not a new problem. It's an old problem for marketing, it's an old problem for sales, it's an old problem for customer success. And so I like the way that HubSpot has divided that, the philosophy behind it, which is um, for these client-facing departments, we want to use AI to increase efficiency, right? That's the better, faster, right? How do I do what I do right now faster in a shorter time with less resources so my cost of action gets reduced, right? And so there's a big chunk of things that AI is not just going to do, but is actually doing right now with or without HubSpot. That comes primarily from OpenAI, ChatGPT, introduction into the world. So I think that's a big component of what's going on right now, and will continue and will refine over the future. But the other two things that I get more excited about are the ones that are more particular to HubSpot are not just increasing efficiency, but increasing effectiveness, right? We just don't want to do things faster. We also want to increase the impact that those activities that we do have at the end of the day on the bottom line, on the revenue generation, on the pipeline, on the business results that we are trying to accomplish with HubSpot and any other tool that we use for our activities. So I think that's the other thing that AI has the potential to do, and that's a big part of that hype is that potential. This is the area where I think there's the most opportunity, but it has not been realized. But at least there's a glimpses of what's going to happen there. And finally, because we should remember that HubSpot, at the end of the day, even when the flavor of the year, if you want to call it, is going to be AI, it's a company that is very focused on the idea that we want our customers to be successful. At the end of the day, the CRM is a place where we manage that relationship with our clients, with our customers. And so we want to use these tools to better connect, better engage, and better solve for the client, right? That's the grow better part. It's not just how this will increase efficiency and effectiveness for the business, for our business, but how this will help our customers at the end of the day. So that's the other part that I think is very important to have in mind. And so from a roadmap perspective, think of the possibilities of AI for HubSpot as in those three big buckets, if that makes sense. Now, of course, we want to review some of the features that are available for 2024. But before we do that, the other big component of how I would like or how I would like to think about AI, and this is not mine, this comes directly from Dharmesh in his presentation during Inbound. So I highly recommend that you go back to the presentations from the Inbound event and look for Dharmesh presentation about this, the co-founder of HubSpot, on how they see AI servicing HubSpot. And I'm sure that he have this reference not just for HubSpot, but for other AI tools in general. And so it's not necessarily levels of maturity, but you can think of it as uh, big areas where AI can help, right? And so the four components, at least for HubSpot, on how they are implementing AI right now, the first one is assistance, right? So this is very efficiency driven. How do you improve and do more and better work with the tools that you already have? Your emails, your social media posts, your landing pages, your web pages, sorry. And how do you translate all that across all the client-facing activities, not just for marketing, but for sales and service? And I think this is the strongest and the easiest, is the low-hanging fruit of how to use AI for HubSpot. And it is what we will cover the most during this presentation, because it's what actually is in the software already. Now, the true potential, or the bigger potential for me, is what it was is being called AI agents, right? So everybody that has tried ChatGPT, and put in the chat there, have you tried ChatGPT? Are you using it right now for your marketing activities, or for your sales activities and customer success activities? I hope that you're doing so, because if you are doing it, then the features that are being added to HubSpot will make a ton of sense, right? That's the other thing that I want to highlight, that these features make a lot of sense if you're already using tools like ChatGPT or external tools that copy AI to accomplish some of your work outside of the CRM. So I think those tools are already doing that, but the thing that they lack is that we still have an assistant, something that help us accomplish something that we are doing ourselves. But it would be even better if we can ask that AI agent to accomplish something based on goals that we have, on things that we want to do. So it's more about, well, I have this idea, come up with a plan, or this is the plan, and go and use tools to accomplish that goal. That's something that is not here right now. But it's part of the vision of how HubSpot wants to use AI, which I think is great. And again, thinking about how do you use this to do more effective work, not just more efficient work. The AI insights, that's the other big component, which is how do you can use AI to mix the data that is not just public, right? All the data set that AI have from tools like ChatGPT, but the data that you own, to do better analysis and recommendations. Because especially for executives and for managers, a big chunk of their work is not actually sending that email, or creating that sequence, or creating that playbook. A big chunk of their activities analyzing what's being done and discovering good patterns, where we are having success, where we are failing, and what we should do about the trends that are showing up and the reports are being created by HubSpot automatically, or the ones that we create. So that's your big thing that HubSpot is thinking about for AI. How can you use it for creating brand new insights based on your own data, not on the data that is public and shared by everyone, but in the one that you have at the core of your CRM. And finally, I wouldn't dismiss the fact that the way that HubSpot started using AI was with ChatSpot, right? So I will cover a little bit about ChatSpot, and how it works, and why would you use it instead of going natively with chat gpt, which I'm not saying you shouldn't do, but it's just, if you want to leverage information from your crm, then it makes more sense to use a tool like chatspot, even when it's built on the same foundation, right? So let us then dive into some of the examples. I will walk through these very quickly and then move into more demonstration mode, right? Some actionable things that you can take today to make this happen. So again, one area is how do you use AI to enhance your customer engagement across the board. So some ideas, again, first, the most simple one is you can just use the chat, right? So we know chatbot has been increasing in usage. For me, I don't know if for you, when I truly saw the potential was when I'm in these situations where I'm searching on Google and I'm searching something that I know I will have to click multiple pages to combine the searches and get a result of my own, right? Is that I will visit page 1 and page 2 and result number 3 and read between lines, and then build a judgment about all the things that I searched or found and come up with my own answer. So what I have discovered that is that for those kind of questions, right, where you have to piece together a ton of content from different sources, um, ChatGPT or Bard are great because you can skip that level, and therefore that's the area where I believe the use of chatbots is increasing the most. And so HubSpot has a flavor of its own chat GPT, if you want to call it, and it's named ChatSpot. And I will show you how you can use that, because you can say, well, Emilio, what will be the difference, right? If it's the same as ChatGPT 4 or whatever version is going right now, why will I use it? And the reason is because you can give access to your CRM and therefore make questions that are more personalized, right? Customized to what the data that you have. So that's a great addition there. Now, when you are in the tool, HubSpot so far has a sprinkle chat GPT in the places where you probably are going to use it the most. And this is the efficiency part, because if your current workflow is I'm building an email, or in this case, an SMS, and I have write something and I want to rewrite it, expand it, shorten it, or just change the tone. What you have to do right now is to take that piece of content, go to something like ChatGPT or Copy AI, do the work there, copy it, and then get back to the tool that you have and paste it, right? So that little flow, while it's not super inconvenient one time, if you are doing this constantly, then it makes sense to have the tool embedded in the things that you do every day. So places where they have put these content assistants based on ChatGPT are the SMS tool, which is actually brand new, right? Or it has been in a little while, and it's only available, unfortunately, in the US only. So if you're coming up with SMS ideas, this is a place where you can do that. It's also available in some areas as a way to summarize content. Like, for example, if you want to create the subject line or the description for an email that you are creating, you can create a subject line or description based on the content that you have already pasted or you have already created for the email. So you can use it as an inspiration, right? So subject line generator, that's another place that you can use those ideas. You can use it for social media, right? And we will cover as well how it works, based on the, when you are drafting those social media posts for different platforms. So that's also convenient. And of course, you can use it as well on your blog, not just to come up with ideas for the outline and for the blog, or actually expanding on an outline and work on that, but also to summarize what the blog is about, coming up with SEO friendly titles and descriptions. So if those activities take you some time, you struggle with inspiration about what to write about, um, assuming that you know your buyer persona and your ICP very well, right? There's no substitution for knowing your customer, right? Chat GPT will not, it's not going to solve that, at least not right now. So you still need that. But as long as you have clarity on that, then you can make more efficient the process of coming up with ideas for title, meta descriptions, expanding or summarizing content that you have already been creating for your buyer, right? So those are areas where you can use the AI content assistant to help you do the work more efficiently. Where else you can use it? Well, you can use it for your lead generation activities, right? Or sales oriented activities. So for example, for this one, this slide we want to include because I just want to bring, especially for the people that is in the sales department or is a sales executive, that I saw there's a bunch there. I want to bring attention to the fact that sales rep usually will engage with the CRM. They would rather do it from mobile, right? So the phone calls, the emails that they send, even some of the meetings that they participate with prospects and clients happen on their mobile phone more often than not, compared to a marketer that works more time on desktop. So definitely I want to highlight the fact that some of these AI content assistants have been embedded in the mobile app, right? So try it out. One idea here is you try it out as you are building emails, right? And so you have some of the type of questions about the email type, what is the person that you're selling to, describing about what you want to talk about, and the tone. So this is helpful again because for most people that is using chat gpt, one of the biggest struggles that they have is what will be the right prompt, right? How do you ask the tool to get a result that is meaningful and not just something that is generic? And so, having the context of what you want to accomplish, like in this case, this is a sales email, and this is the type of email that I want to build, will give you something that really works for you instead of something generic that leaves you in the same place. So try it out, right? Download the mobile app if you haven't, and try sending some of those emails there. I think something that for sales will be quite helpful. Also, you can use it for workflows. This particular case, thinking about sequences, right? So when you are building lead nurturing efforts to automate some of the activities that you have, then typically you have types of emails that go in sequence, right? An introduction email, another email maybe highlighting some of the success stories of the company or cases on industries that you have worked on. Another one which is more specific about the solutions that you do, and maybe asking for taking action. So for those more standardized ways, while there are some templates that HubSpot offer, they're typically generic. And this is another area where you can use the content AI to the AI content assistant to help you out with ideas for content, right? Finally, you can use, this is a glimpse of that AI insights that you might have down the road for sales conversations and closing deals. One is for those of you admins that are building reports and you want to build a quick description of what is the report about for the users, the end users, then the AI tool is capable of summarizing what the report is about. And this is, again, a glimpse of what I would like to see down the road for the tool, right? It's not just telling me what is the description of the report, but what can I learn from it, right? If you look at the data, what are the insights, the conclusions that you can take from the data? And even more, or more interesting would be, what are the recommendations that you might have based on it, right? So that will be the next level of AI on insights. And even more, right? Dreaming here will be, well, with that insight, with that estimation, can you do something about it and start a campaign, or at least draft the campaign that will move the needle based on this report, which will be that AI agent that Dharmesh was talking about. So we are not there yet, but for me, those are some of the implications, and these are, the areas where HubSpot is dipping its toe into some of those the ideas and implementations. So, and finally, for those of you that are users of Operations Hub Pro and above, there's a new option to generate reports based on prompts, right? So for those of you that are in operations, sometimes it's hard to come up with what will be the right combination of objects and properties and the format and timeframes that I need to create to build a custom report for an executive that is asking about a particular metric. So if you want to get started with some ideas, you can use this tool. I think it's in beta, where you prompt what you want to accomplish, right? So it's going to show up here as another option, AI assistant for reports. And you prompt what you want to create. And based on your data, um, it will give you the best answer for that one. So interesting again into right now is at that level that is assistant. It will be even better if evolved into you ask the question and the system answers with the report and some recommendations. It's not there yet, but this is a first step, right? So those are some of the ideas. Now I will dive into some of the actual places where you can start using this. And again, feel free to drop some questions there after my short walk around. I will go back to them, and if you want to join and ask them, feel free to do so. So it's going to be on the resources at the end of the presentation, but I highly recommend that you visit agent.ai. This is a kind of a blog that Dharmesh started a few months ago, where he's putting his thoughts on what he thinks AI is going. There's a little bit of everything here. So if you are more into the topic, I highly recommend that you take a look at it. So that's one thing. Now, this is ChatSpot. The way that you access it is that you go to, I think it's chatspot .ai or .com. And again, it's going to be very, very similar to ChatGPT. So no difference there. But you have the possibility to connect with your CRM. And because you can connect with your CRM and check, if that's something that your company feels comfortable doing, then you will be able to have these very CRM specific prompts, right? So you can add a company to the CRM, or ask questions about the content or the objects that are inside of it, ask questions about reporting, um, how to do things on HubSpot, and for marketing, you will have some ideas and even company insights, right? Like ask for subscriptions or list of subscriptions. There are prompts for prospecting and things like that. So is that interaction between HubSpot and ChatGPT the one that will, give you a deeper engagement with that? And you can even see here that you can share, just like what you will do on ChatGPT or Copy AI, some idea of how you think about things, right? Blog samples or emails that you have sent. And if you add that, then you will be able to get more personalized answers from the chat, right? So this is your chat GPT, um, improve or customize with your CRM information. That's one area where you can explore. And just to give you a quick idea of how you can use the tool in different places, I've just pulled some examples from our own portal. So for example, you can see here, one of our team members, actually this is in Spanish, I apologize for that, but one of our team members draft a post that he's going to schedule in a few days in advance. And so if you select any part of the text, you get this little prompt, and then you will be able to rewrite it, expand it, shorten it, or change the tone, right? So if I want to expand it, I click here, start working its magic. And then one interesting thing that I discovered is that it understands Spanish and prompts for English, right? So because our portal is set in English, the answer is coming back in English, but it understood the Spanish prompt or the Spanish text. So that's interesting, right? So you have an expanded version here and you can ask more and more, and then you can insert it back. So again, this is the efficiency part. You are getting access to AI in the places where you use it the most, which is when you are creating content in different places. So this is social. Um, this is, for example, on email, right? So this is the part that I was telling you, that you have this piece of content that has a ton of, sections, and we are promoting some case studies and things like that. So what if you are struggling with what will be the subject line for that? Well, you can just click here, generate, and it will give you some ideas on what is an appropriate title for that email, right? And you can iterate from it, very similar to ChatGPT, and the ones that you want, you insert. So that will optimize your flow, right? Some ideas for those of you that use email marketing quite often in combination with ChatGPT. For those of you that are writing things on the blog, very similarly, if you have written already something, either an outline, you can expand it. If you don't feel comfortable or satisfied with what you have right now, you can get the assistant to rewrite it for you, or write a shorter version of it. So those some ideas. And in the same way, you can use it to come up with a different title, right? So it will use the content that you have there and come up with a different title for you, right? And you can keep trying until you find something that works for you, right? You can use that for the title, and you can use that for the meta description as well. So very convenient there. Um, as I was telling you, you can use this for email, right? So I don't have the mobile app to share the screen with you now, so I will show you from the desktop, but it's the same concept. Is allows you, using these predefined concepts, to build a prompt efficiently without the user trying to understand how to do that on ChatGPT. So you can say, well, this is an introduction email. I'm selling demand generation services. We are talking to a B2B marketer of an SMB company, and I want to know what are her challenges as a one team marketer, and how bound if I can help, right? And I want to be helpful. So I generate this. Let's see. And there you go, right? It's going to be perfect. And definitely, I wouldn't suggest that you do this every single time if you're going to have the same situation over and over. If you have the same situation over and over, I will take this as the initial point for you, and then transform it into a template that you save on HubSpot, right? So, and you can see here is the concise. And if we don't like it, we can generate more. So I think it's removing some of the complexity of using ChatGPT and make it very accessible for marketers in the places that they work. Here's an example of a report, right? So I have a little report here, and I have the about section, and then you have access to generate with AI, right? And then let's click here. And there you go, right? Overview of website performance, which is correct. It described the metrics that it uses. It described that it's comparing results from prior year to the next one, right? And definitely is the reason you do that is because it allows you to identify areas for improvement, which is awesome, right? You got a little description there, and you can optimize it. One important thing for you to remember is that in order to take advantage of these features, you have to go in your settings to AI assistance on the tools section, and which is in beta. So you have to request access to the beta, and then allow allow the tool access to your content and to your reports. So that's a portion, obviously, that you have to be mindful of. And if you are in a sensible industry, read the policies and all that, and what is the extent of the sharing that is going to happen in order for the tool to understand your business, because obviously this is sensible data. So it will have access to your marketing tools, to your customer database, to your customer success information. So make sure that you read the terms and that you feel comfortable with it, and consult with legal if you need to, right? So you will get a request for both the content prompts, which is all the content AI assistance, plus the access for the data, which allow to analyze and make suggestions for calling or for call conversations, and for the mobile app, and for the reports and all that, which is obviously sensible information. And so, yeah, those are all the areas. Again, this is very fast, but it's just to give you a glimpse of an idea, especially if you are an executive or a manager right now, which is thinking, how can my team take advantage of this? Thinking in that way, right? You initially for 2024, we will have mostly. Let me stop sharing here. Um, let me stop sharing. There you go. Initially on 2024, you will have mostly assistance, quite honestly, and the fastest description is ChatGPT inside HubSpot with some appropriate prompts so you can make the work faster. I'm sure that this will evolve very quickly into AI agents and insights. If I have to pick between the two, I think insights will be first that agents, because agents will require that the AI tool have some control over the different parts of the tool, right? Being able to draft emails, being able to draft blog posts and combine that into a campaign, for example. But the possibilities there, right? Is web services based on agents. So those are some of the possibilities. So definitely take some time to explore. And now, I don't know, Gabby, we have some questions that you have seen.
Yes, we have some of them by Christoph and Kim Murphy. They are actually engaging with us with some questions. One of them were if will ChatSpot be more integrated with HubSpot, other tools and features like workflows, was one at the very beginning.
Yes, it is integrated in the workflows already in the form of an assistant when you are creating the content that is part of a workflow, right? So typically, when you are building a workflow, either you have the emails prepared in advance and you assemble them together, or you start building the emails as you build the steps of the workflow. Either way, you can use the AI assistant to create the content or help you to improve the content that you're creating for those workflows. So at this moment, that's the scope of AI. I am sure that eventually, one possibility will be suggesting a series of steps, not just a template, but actually suggesting a series of steps for a workflow based on what I want to accomplish, right? So becoming more and more an agent rather than just an assistant.
Okay. And Kim Murphy asked us where we get these presentations from. I already told them that actually this was shared with us with by Oscar, and this is from the marketing team from HubSpot for this purpose. And if there is it, he asked or she asked if there's any current tutorials available within HubSpot to learn how to use these tools, or is there a way to access the presentations from the inbound event? And that's a good question because I remember when the inbound event happened that as a presentations that were available in a really short period of time, and then we asked Oscar if he had some of the content that he can share with us to actually gain, like again that information. And that's what he shared with us. He shared this, and he shared some of the videos that were on YouTube and stuff like that. So that's where we get or gather that information, Kim.
Yes, and I didn't share that last page. Let me share with you. So in the presentation, right, at the end, the last slide has some knowledge articles, right? Some information from the academy directly on how to use AI to scale your content. And there's some blogs and the description of the feature from beta, right? So we will share that with you at the end, so you can take that and start taking advantage of it. Quite honestly, right now, a couple of quick steps that you can take. Go and visit chatspot.com. So if you want to take advantage of ChatSpot with your information, and go to the academy, not to the academy, sorry, to the product and update section on your HubSpot, and make sure that you have access to the beta, right? So if not, get access to the beta on HubSpot AI. If you visit that tool section here, on the help articles, will tell you what steps you need to accomplish. And once you enable the beta, it will ask you for permission to enable the content generators for your pieces, and it will ask you access for the insights. And with that, you will start seeing the AI assistant popping up in all the pieces of content that you have on your portal.
Okay.
Very good.
And I guess we have another one. Oh, Shanandra says that if I am understanding, this is really just not having to copy and paste from ChatGPT. The capability of it being within HubSpot for now.
Yeah, I know. And everybody, I will say that every company, every software company since OpenAI is, to be honest, not trying to catch up, but going, working overtime on figuring out how do you use this. So again, it's not that it's not helpful, right? It is helpful. But if you are not using Chat GPT anyway right now, or any other AI tool for content, then it will not necessarily improve what you do right now, right? It's more about, yes, I'm been using the tool already to on a daily basis, and I'm going with that copy and pasting all the time, or struggling with coming up with prompts because maybe you are not familiar on how to, in chat gpt, create your own templates for asking the same questions, right? Or the same type of questions, so you get a consistent response. I know that chat gpt right now also have the ability to a section where you kind of present your tone, right? How do you speak, how do you write? So those things, which for someone that use the tool in a very involved way every day, seems simple. For a marketer that has tried but is not familiar with it, they might struggle. And I feel that the way that HubSpot implementing is quite helpful. So that's one big help right now. But yes, at the end of the day, is like embedding chat gpt across HubSpot at this moment. But I feel it's a great first step, and the vision is the one that I'm really, really excited about, right? How can you use that data to take better decisions, the insights, and to actually make things happen with the help of agents?
Mhm. And I don't know if you answered over this already, but Priyanka says that could you highlight how HubSpot would leverage this data?
I guess the question is if they have access to it, if they will have any use of it.
Yes, you got that right. Am I audible?
Yeah, you are. Um, Let me tell you, it seems like a new, but at the same time, it's an old problem. Because think about it this way: imagine that there's no AI. It's still all your data from your business is hosted on a tool that you didn't build, right? HubSpot has right now, even without AI, access to your contacts, your companies, your deals. Is looking at every transaction and every activity that happens in the website, in your website, if you have it implemented, and if you're using the payment tools, it's actually seeing how much you're earning, right? Or at least how much you are transacting. So you already have shared that with HubSpot, and to the extent that that information is being shared, obviously, I'm not gonna provide legal advice here, right? I'm not a lawyer by any means, but I will say that the the access that he has right now allows you to do the work, and I'm sure that some of that information is aggregated in an anonymous way to better improve the tool, right? Most of the platforms will tell you, at least in different wording, that. So I believe that for AI, that's the same realm, how the technology is going to evolve. um, it has, however, something slightly different for me. That is, at the end of the day, it generates an output, right? So it's been a struggle for AI in general in the public, which is, well, this content that is being generated by AI or from ChatGPT is inspired by the work of others, right? So there's that conflict on, is this truly a new work, or is being redo or taken from someone else? And that's a conversation that I don't feel definitely I don't have the enough knowledge to say one way or the
That's
other.
fine.
But
Thanks for
but
answering.
but to the extent that I obviously, you can trust the company. I think that we already have put for those of us that are using HubSpot, we already put in a lot of trust in the company by running our processes in the platform already without AI. Hmm.
And another one, it's that we have access to the inbound presentations again. Um, as I can say to you, there is not access to the actual inbound presentations, but it's a debrief that Oscar shared with all the HubSpot partners, and it's a slide check, just a slide deck. I'm sorry, just for the partners of HubSpot, and he already shared that with us a long time ago when this was on. Mhm.
Yeah,
But you,
and I don't know for sure. I remember, this is me just from past experiences. I remember that every time that you attend inbound, if you register for the event and all that,
yes.
they immediately after give you access to some, not all, of
Mm,
the speaker events and things like that. So I know that that's available for some time. I don't think it's forever, because
mhm.
eventually they replace their page with the event for the next year, which in this case is 2024. Um, so no, I don't know exactly where you will find it right now. But what we can offer you, Gabby, if you can ask Oscar if there's,
Sure.
if he knows where the presentations from Inbound 2023 are stored. You can follow up with Gabby after this and see if she have access, or
Mhm.
someone has access to those presentations.
Yes.
Very good. Any other question?
And Kim also said that earlier that you referenced Jasper asks if is this integrated with HubSpot or is HubSpot using ChatGPT?
Oh, no, sorry. Maybe sometimes because the way I pronounce words, but I don't recall mentioning Jasper.
Jasper.
I mentioned Copy AI, which is another popular content tool, right? That similarly to what HubSpot is doing with the content tools, has pre-built prompts based on what a marketer will do typically, right? So, which again is one of the struggles. And Copy AI is a good example of a tool that I remember was building their own AI model, and then eventually after ChatGPT, they just plug into it and kind of focus on providing an interface for the prompts. So it was Copy AI. I know about Jasper. I'm not familiar with Jasper, but I'm assuming that can accomplish something similar to Copy AI. And to the best of my understanding, the only platform that HubSpot is using is ChatGPT.
And I think that's it. That's all the questions that I can gather from the chat.
Very good. All righty. Well, it has been wonderful. I'm happy that all of you were able to participate and get a glimpse of what's coming. Stay tuned. I'm sure that this tool will evolve and grow and help us all do better job, not just faster, but also with higher impact. And at the end of the day, helping clients. So thank you for joining in. And as we always do, I highly recommend that you check out the Greenville HUG page and look for the next event. It will be on March 7, and we will talking about how to customize your CRM, right? Going beyond the standard objects, the properties, the associations that are built in there. If you're in the lookout for learning how to customize your CRM, join us in a couple of months. All right. Gabby, thank you so much. Have a great day.
Thank you. I'll see you, Emilio.
Bye-bye.
Bye.